just want to make a video on, I can't really even say drugs, but the effect of drugs against the way of thinking of unhealthy people, unhealthy minded people, I should say. I recently moved to a new state and a new city where their get down is completely different from where I come from. I mean, there's still crime, still problems, still, dysfunctionality. But the thing that I want to focus on, I guess you could say, is how far the mind is slipping. And it's not just people that are on drugs either. They're just the ones that need immediate attention. And then, anyway, we'll get to the other stuff later. But crime is escalating or multiplying, or I don't know the correct term. It's becoming a lot. It's growing. The crime rate is growing. The concern of other people's lives, the disvalue of life, period, and especially those of others. When we don't value ourselves, how much more do you think we're going to value somebody else, I mean, someone's there. Anyways, it really breaks my heart, it breaks my heart because I'm not trying to offend anybody, especially any type of people, any people in particular. I'm no better than anybody else as far as, my piece of human being body isn't a higher value of anybody else's. We're all mass, we're all, big lump of dust. Anyways, where the value comes in is, the understanding of life, the understanding and the acceptance and the value, when we care for and appreciate the appreciation, there we go, of life and other people's lives. Because what would our life be without other people? And I mean that. Even with the person at the drive-thru window, where would your life be if you weren't able to zoom through that drive-thru and get what you want? And maybe you can't even zoom because there's so many people in this world anymore. But, where would your life be if you had to, oh my God, get in the kitchen and, fend for yourself, especially when you're in a hurry. Then you have a mess to clean up and you get, oh my God. So anyways, and actually it doesn't even start with the drug addicts, it starts with the people that, drive the people into drugs, because they don't want to deal with reality. They don't want to be at home anymore. They don't want to hear that nagging voice right now, they don't want to have to deal with the bullshit, because the people, the naggers and the ones that run the house, so to speak, drive them, into other things, just to get away. We all get away in our own way. Some of us work, some of us do drugs, some of us, just exercise, some of us whatever it is, we all do something. Anyway, and I really think, even from the employees, from the top dollar employers, you really need to start appreciating and valuing those that are under you. And I only say under you meaning, because they're not able to, employ somebody else, or, because they have to work for somebody, because they got to listen to somebody. You really need to value them a lot more, because, where would you be without your employees? Where would you be without your customers? Where would you be without other people? You don't run nothing by yourself, You're only at the top because people see you that way. They allow you to be there. They praise you that way. They wow, they appreciate your business smarts. Your brilliance. They appreciate it, and they ooh and ah it. So that's the only reason why you're at that spot. Because trust me, I mean, it's becoming more and more. Anyways, people are doing it anyways. You can steal your house now. You can steal your car now. You can steal. I mean, everything is just becoming just like, you know, you want it, you got it. But do you deserve it? You know what I mean? Do you really deserve it? Um, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying everybody should go out getting Christmas bonuses and birthday presents and all that. But I am saying is you need to realize, what it is. You know what I mean? You didn't build nothing by yourself. You might have put in most of the work, for a few years, until it got up and you're able to, hire on employees and then more employees and then more employees. But you didn't do it all by yourself. Even if it was completely your idea. But praise you for that, and that's what you get paid for. That's why you got the bucks for. Don't ever think that you can, treat anybody any kind of way because you worked for it. Yeah, you worked for it, but you get the money for it. That's your benefit. That's your, prize. That's your whatever you want to call it. That's your reward. You know, not to treat people however you feel that you can do. That's not right. Anyways, what I was getting at, what I was meaning to get at, was it breaks my heart to see the way drugs are affecting people nowadays. And it starts with the issue of lack of, self love. Okay, it starts there. But once the drug gets a hold of you, your mind, change your mind to think a certain way to, get up and hustle for your drug. You mean, your mind begins to train itself thinking it depends on, it needs that drug, you know what I mean? For emotional support, for, physical support, for everything. And it's really saddening to see. And what's even more saddening to see is the fact that somebody could sell that to somebody, seeing that person's, physical condition, mental condition, and like nothing, trade them the drug for the money because, they want new shoes or they want a new car or they got bills to pay or they got kids to feed. And having complete lack of consideration, concern, or empathy, or anything for the person whose life they're taking. They're sucking the life out of them with every dollar they take. I see people that are clothed improperly with clothes that are of different genders, of different sizes, and not because they're trying to do that, but that's what's available to them. And dirty and in the parking lot with their hands out and staggering. They can barely pick up. Their motor skills aren't even the same. Can't even walk properly. Can't lift their legs up properly. They got funny looks on their face because their jaw or their mouth is shaped a certain way now because their body is so stressed. Their muscles are so tense and stressed. It's saddening. Um, I don't understand how a person can see somebody in that condition and just willingly just like I said, take their money, give them the drug, send them on their way like nothing, like nothing. I mean, come on, people. Like that's sad. I seen a girl today and it broke my heart. I mean, she wanted somewhere to rest and take her groceries. I gave her $40, and I hope that was enough to get a room. And I'm not saying that, oh yeah, 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 praise me, look at me as such a good guy. I'm just saying though is because if I could, I wish I could, I would do that for everybody. I see in that position. I can't even do that for myself. Luckily, I had the money, and I was able to do that this time for one person. Um, and I made her promise that that's what she was going to use it for, was to get a room, rest, and shower up and stuff like that. She was skinny, she was missing teeth, and oh, poor thing. Oh man, I hurt my feelings right now. But then I walk with her to go make sure that doesn't know because like you know I seen in her heart that that's what she really, really wanted. And if she desired drugs more than that room at that time, at that point where I seen her at, then um, that's on her. In the same sense, and I don't mean it like that because I know the drug dealers would be like same thing. Well, that's on them. Nobody's making them come. You know what? But I honestly, there's a difference. Like I could see people, and I seen that she was tired. She really was. She was tired, and I know that's what she would to use that money for. She walked in the direction she said she was gonna go. She had everything else that she needed. She had a little bit of drugs on her. She had food. She needed a place to rest. She was tired. Anyway, I'm not trying to justify. I'm just anyway. But what is it like? Who? I just want to let it be known. Drug dealers all around. No disrespect. I love you as a human being. Your profession, on the other hand, it's not a profession. Sit back and sit down, like really, really look at yourself in the mirror. Really, really do. Please do. And I'm not, because come on now, I did well and die well myself, here and there. I wish I didn't, period. And but it is what it is. And I'm making every effort I can for myself to make that change and leave it alone. I am, as well as I can't speak on something that I don't know about, right? I can't speak on, leaving drugs alone and if I've never been on drugs, I can't speak on, selling drugs if I've never sold them. I can't. I've been on both sides of this, situation here, and I could speak knowingly of what I'm saying. And to be honest, if you were to sit back and look at yourself and think about where you're at in life, I mean, like what's really going on, how it really, you don't look, I mean, like in your mind, yeah, like you're a big ball and you're big boss. I mean, you're a somebody, but don't you know that you can actually be a somebody if you were to put as much effort into actually finding a career and getting a job and doing something with your life instead of taking life. And I don't mean killing people. I mean, you are, but that's what you're doing. You're doing it slowly. You're taking life, taking away from other people. That's like purse snatching, basically. It is. And it's not, and you could say it's not, it is. You're taking away from defenseless, helpless people who cannot think for themselves anymore because they're addicted to drugs, because their mind is overtaken by the necessity of drugs. Work, go to work, go to work. It's not that hard. Everybody else does it. Everybody does it. This world is falling apart so bad, so fast because nobody wants to put back into it. Everybody wants to withdraw. Nobody wants to make a deposit. You know, everybody just wants that money. They want the money. Well, where's the money coming from? You know what I mean? And if you get everybody all hooked on drugs and they all end up dying, and they don't even work, nobody's working anymore, where do you think you're going to get your money from? If you think long term, think ahead. Think, where do you think people are going to get the money to buy drugs from you? If you have people so fucking high that they're fucking living under bridges and in tents alongside of the bridges. I mean, um, if you look everywhere as you walk down the street, there's more people not working than there are people that are working. And not everybody working does drugs, especially because, they would be right there not working too. So your clientele is mainly the people in their tents not working. Yeah, some of them get, checks from the state, whatever, a month, and some of them got hustle, yeah. But eventually, that's gonna run out because eventually the state's gonna say, you know what, all drugs, because I've already seen them do it with medical aid. If you're on drugs, we cannot assist you, and that's gonna happen with the money too. If you're on drugs, you're gonna have to start testing to get your check now, pretty soon. That would be the wise thing to do. What are you gonna do when there's no more money coming from there? Then what are you gonna do? You're gonna wait till that happens? I advise you to, start looking, get a part-time job. Who cares what it is? Who cares what it is? you're setting the bar and the standard for yourself. Oh, I can't be a dishwasher. I can't be a work at McDonald's. You mean why not? Because you're setting the bar too high for yourself. Because you'll be embarrassed or you'll feel ashamed or whatever. You should feel embarrassed and be ashamed of what you're doing right now. You're killing people. You're taking from people. You're taking from people that have nothing already as it is, just to make yourself look and feel better, just so you can have something. That's that's sad. That's what that really is. Excuse me. Hold on. Are you really that low to where you have to take from somebody that's even lower than you? You know what I mean? And I don't mean take from somebody that's above, like that's got more than you, because that's not right either. Are we not allowed to own anything nice anymore? People that want to go rob and steal from other people. What makes you think you have the right to take from other people? That people that go rob banks and go rob stores and go rob, you know what I mean? It's only that bad because you let it get that bad. Because you waited till the last, till you had nothing, till your family's hungry, till your bills are due, before you go and bust that move. Why is that somebody else's fault? Why is that somebody else's? Why does somebody else got to put up with that, or take a loss because you don't want to get up and go to work and handle your responsibility like a normal human being does? Everybody in this world has to work, put in to get something out. You understand? It's not nothing. It's not a punishment or anything like that. No. If you want to have an easy life, then make good money. Use your brains, go to school. You learn to do something that you like and that makes good money. Sell that shit. Sell it. Work for it though. Deserve it, earn it. You know, why is it that we have to make other people suffer for the shit for the choices we make? We get in fights and we want to go and collect, or we want to go and make an example, or defend our honor or whatever, and we go somewhere and meet them up at the corner store, liquor store, whatever. You mean now we have other people involving other people. Hey, I need you to get this food to come right here, whatever, whatever. Now you're getting somebody else to lower their standards, their morals. You know what I mean? Just so for you, like what, handle your own shit. You know. And I'm not calling nobody. I'm not trying to say, yeah, come for me, whatever. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the truth. That's it. If the truth hurts, I'm sorry. And I already know there's gonna be some people that have too much pride and be like, fuck this fool. You know what I mean? And that's something I gotta learn. I gotta deal with. I gotta live with. But it's something I'm willing to do for people that cannot defend themselves. And I'm not trying to come against nobody. I'm just trying to say everybody needs to chill the fuck out, because end game, where are we headed with this life? You know what I mean? If we continue to keep going the same way we're going now, where do we think this world is going to end up? And people choose to continue to turn their nose away and just mind. Yeah, I'm going to mind my business. Yeah, that's cool and that's good. That's what you're supposed to do. If business was minding itself, you know what I mean? Like if you didn't have to involve other people to go, bring this food over here, get this food, come over here. If you didn't start shooting and just stray bullets going everywhere else and shooting, hitting innocent people, if your car accidents didn't, run into somebody else and hurt other people, you're allowing your choices to affect other people that have nothing to do with things. You know what I mean? You're being sloppy. You're being messy. Is what they would call it in prison or jail. You know what I mean? You're being sloppy. You're not keeping your nose clean. You're fucking all over the place. Too many people know your business because you want to be big and bad and you want to be, an all star. You know, calm down, calm down, calm the fuck down. Nah, but calm down though. It's like what? It's not all that serious. It's not. It's not. To the drug addicts, please, 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 please realize what it is you're doing to yourself. You know, love yourself. There are people that do love you, but when you make yourself inaccessible to other people for them to love you, and I know because I've been there. When you pull yourself away from other people that are trying to love you, or trying to be there for you. People aren't always going to be there when you want them to be there for you, but they'll be there when they can sometimes. And sometimes they will be there for you when you want them to be. You know, but you can't expect that. You can't expect that from somebody. They are cool. God bless them and love them more for them. More for that. But you cannot expect that from somebody. You know, Like, I want you to be there for me. That's being selfish. That's being, controlling. That's being, I want it my way. And that's not the way it goes. Not all of it. We all have our, I bet. Well, I was there, and I gave them their way for this many years. Yeah, I understand that, but that you did it by choice, though. You did it by choice, and they have their right to choose. When they want to be there for you, as well. So when they choose to be, allow it. Let them in. Let them love you, but don't pull yourself away further. You know, love yourself. Don't let life fuck you up. Don't let it get you to where you're spending every last dollar of yours on drugs. You're giving to somebody else. You're taking care of somebody else. Again, the same thing that's making you sad, that made you there in the first place, got you there in the first place. You're still doing it for other people that can give a fuck about you. They might hook you up once in a while, and that's your reward. Oh my God, you get all happy for it. You feel like that's love, and that's not love. That's not love. Love would be like, hey, you know what? You need to kick back for a couple of days. When you get a little, get a little sleep and get a little food, and you then come back. Because we all like to enjoy, a little this, a little that. Sometimes that's fine, but you gotta take care of yourself, and you gotta have your responsibility at the same time. You cannot drive yourself into the ground, and you cannot let nobody else do it to you either. These drugs, they fuck with our minds. They do. They do. They make our minds think different. Sometimes we think a certain way. And oh, that's this. That's what we convince ourselves so much that that's what it is. What we think is that's what it is. Oh, this fool is just thinking. He's doing this and he's trying to make me look like this, or trying to make. Oh, that's what he's doing. Fuck that. Now this fool, and then we want to take things to the max. What the fuck? Calm down. Why is everybody on edge? Why is everybody also fucking? You know what I mean? So your feelings and your pride got hurt a little bit. So what? You live. Where do we feel like we have the right to take somebody else's life, to take somebody else's meal, to take somebody else's spot, to take somebody else's money, to take somebody else's anything? The girl, the fucking. If you see somebody that has a girl and she has a man, and you're a dude, or even a girl, that's off limits. Don't even think that way. Don't even think about, oh, she's cheating me. Look at somebody else, think about something else, you know what I mean? Respect, respect. That's true respect. That's true love. That's true, humanity. Be a person, be a human being. It's really not that hard not to cheat. It's really not that hard not to be fucking around. You know what I mean? Like when something is taken, it's taken. If somebody's car is parked in a certain parking spot and you pull up, what are you gonna do? Call the tow truck and have it pulled out? Pulled out just because you want to park in the street? It's taken. Get over it. Move on. Find another one. That's what we do. I mean, it's like everybody, all these states, they say, equal rights, about, the equal housing rights, equal, job rights, equal this, equal that. If it's equal, it's equal. You know what I mean? Like, don't think because 100 motherfuckers that will pull a strap on a second. Just because you say so. Don't don't take advantage of that. Don't pump fear into people's hearts and their lives because you have it like that. You know what I mean? Have some compassion. Have some. Don't kill somebody just because you can. And think, oh yeah, I'm good. Because trust me, what you do to other people can be done to you. Nobody is insensible. Nobody. Everybody in this world could get it. Everybody. People get it sometimes, not even, just walking to the store and just, straight bullet down. They got it too. Does it mean they deserve it? At that, who knows? That's not for us to decide. That's God's job. Who says that you come even close to being God, and saying, okay, you know what, this fool don't need to live no more, because of this and that and the other. No, that's not your place. Not your place at all. Period. Period. Get over it. It's not. You don't have that right. You don't have that no. I don't care if you feel like you have your driver's license. Let feel income pretty. No. Who are they to say? Nobody. Nobody has that right. Nobody. You didn't give that person breath. You have no right taking it away. You know what I mean? When you can shape a person out of dirt and breathe life into them like that, when you could do that, by all means, you know what I mean? That's your creation. You do it. You handle it. You say where they're wrong at. You say where they're right at. You freaking reward them. You discipline them. You have, you know what I mean? But when you don't do that, you're just like one of us. You're just like one of us. You're equal to the rest of us. To the people not on drugs that have nothing to do with drugs, like don't sell it, don't do them. Mm, but you do have a part of it. See, everything affects everything. Um, especially women, because women think, oh, we're the ones that rule the world now, and God is a woman, and pussy power or whatever, all that stuff. You remember back in grade school when you would stand in a circle and put one hand to the neighbor, everybody put one hand in the next person's, and you go around and you slap one person's hand, and then they would slap the next person like that, and they sing the song. I think it was something about hanky panky. I don't know, 3, 5, 4. Anyway, something like that. Okay, you make a circle, like the world, or a circle, and what do women do? They network. Women network real well. They call up when they're mad. They call up and they'll get, yeah, and this motherfucker would do it. Yeah, it's the same thing. You're not physically touching, but you're touching with your mouth, your words, and you're passing that shit around. Okay, we all affect one another, believe it or not. Okay, and I'm pretty sure you guys know that. You guys know that when you degrade your man, when you tell him he's a bitch, and you tell him he's that, and this, that, and the other, you fucking, emasculate him and all that. You know this. Women know this. They're the first ones to eat the fruit. They have that. They have that wisdom. They have that knowledge. They were given that by, But I'm here to tear it down. You don't have that right anymore. You know, we all affect each other, and you want to have credit for, the way things are now. But you also have to take responsibility for the way things are now, because women, there is no motherly love like a woman can give. That's why they're the only ones that can give life. They can get impregnated and they can give birth. There's also no other uh, focus, drive, discipline, direction that a woman can give like a man can. A woman cannot do that. You have your body parts, we have ours, right? You got your gifts, we got ours. You have your place, we have ours. Don't try to change that, because you can't just like a man cannot be a woman cannot be a man. As much as we think so, as much as you give the hormone, as much as we take hormonal treatment and all that, you can have the surgery, but you will never be able to give birth. Even if you were to change genders, a woman can never impregnate a man, because you don't have that seed, you don't have that in you. I don't care if they give you the biggest slong in the world, you will never be able to have that function, right? Because you weren't designed to, not this time around. If we have more than one life, whatever, um, you are not, that's not your role, okay? Stop trying to be the man. Sometimes when there's not a man around, cool, okay, but when there is, know your place. Know when to stand down. Don't be out there running the street with a man. Don't be out there trying to fucking, collect and this, that, and the other, and out there fucking putting in work like a man, because you're not. Yes, women used to do that back in the day when a man would get locked up, because a man would, was out there running the street and trying to make money, and the girl used to hold it down. But now, it's like women get out and they think they're men too. Want to be running the street and putting in work and making these fools look like dumb little punks and this and that and the other. No, just because you can don't mean you should. Don't do that. Know your place, because know the effect that it has later on in life. Everything isn't about right now. It's about the future. It's about tomorrow. It's about next week, next month, next year, years down the line, next generation. It's not all about you. It's not. Sorry. Quit self-satisfying. Quit, the here and now. It's not about that. It's not. Partially, yes, but in the end, no. When it's all said and done, no. It's not even about us. It's about God. Hello. You know what I mean? God did say go forth and multiply. He didn't say what. He didn't say go forth and multiply each other. You know, there's no reason to be having this many. You know, we are overpopulated, and I'm not saying to kill people, take them out to lessen the population. I'm not saying that. It's already too late for that. What I am saying though is have some kind of fucking self control. Have some kind of common sense. You know, multiply, multiply. You know what? There's one welder, make two of them. That's multiplying. You're doubling. You know, you're at. You know, that's. You know, um, create the creation and multiply it. You know, and make extra of it. And pass it around. You know, education, multiply, multiply your timetables. That's still being obedient. But you know what? What are we doing? What are you doing to each other? What are we doing to each other? And I have to say we, even though I'm not doing a lot of the things that a lot of you guys are doing, but because just like when I was a kid and when one of us got in trouble, we all got in trouble. Okay? Same thing. We're one race. We're a human race. We are, no matter your color, no matter your language, no matter your, height, your width, your whatever, we're all in this shit together. We all have to answer together. Why didn't you guys get along? Why didn't you guys learn to function together? Why couldn't you guys make this shit work? You had everything under the sun that you could think of to please you, to satisfy you, and you were not satisfied. You were not. You still wanted more, to the point where you took from other people, to where you killed other people, to where you made other people's lives miserable, to where you nagged them to death, to where you made them sick to where you poisoned them, because you couldn't stand to be around them. And you just didn't have the fucking balls to fucking just walk away. Because why? Too much pride. Pride has a lot to do with things. It does. It does. It does. Pride is a motherfucker. And I'm not saying this with anybody in mind. I'm just anybody in particular. I'm saying this with the world in mind, because the city and state I'm in right now, you don't even see kids outside playing anymore. They're not even outside enjoying the day. They can't, because they're gonna be influenced, kidnapped, raped, trafficked. Why? Why? Where the fuck do people get the? Where do you feel like you have the right to fucking take somebody else's life and do what you will with it? For what? Why would you want to? You got nothing better else to do with your own life, I mean, for real. You want to feel that authoritative? You want to feel that powerful? You want to feel that in control? Control your own life. That's the only reason why people do that kind of shit, because they don't have control of their own life. Because something ain't right in their life. It's the truth. It's the truth. You can have all the money in the world and still fuck around and do stupid shit. Because why? Because either they were treated wrong when they were a kid, or because their home life is not cool, because their wife is always bitching and nagging and saying he's got a small dick or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Comparing them to somebody else, making them feel some type of way. And that's what people get when they don't find out who it is they're sleeping with before they sleep with them. Because then you find out, I don't want this motherfucker. And this motherfucker is all in love with me now. And the only way to get rid of him is to make him fucking go away. And he won't go away unless I fucking treat him like this. No, that's not the right way. Right way is be responsible. Get to know who it is you lay down with. Because as we all know, you should know, when you lay down with somebody, when you have sex with them, you become part of them and they become part of you. A little bit. The more people you sleep with, the more traits you get of somebody else. Good or bad, maybe sometimes both, but you don't get to choose. That's what I do know. So here you are, this mixed up, confused hoe, because you want to be sleeping around, and now you don't know who you are because you have so many, people that you're mixed up with, and you knew back in the day how you thought, how you functioned, how you reacted, cool. But when you start adding in all these other people, and you're not even giving yourself time to freaking adapt and adjust, spiritually and internally, you're becoming confused. You don't know how to handle your new emotions. You don't know how to handle these new thoughts you're having. You don't know how to handle these new cravings and passions, and you know what I mean? You're not giving yourself time to level out. The boat is still rocking. You know what I mean? Your eyes are still rattling around in your head. You're not focused yet. If you want to sleep around, know what you're doing in life before you do it. If you're gonna fuck around and do something, know exactly what it is you do, and the effects it's gonna have, not on just yourself, but on your life and everybody else is around you, because you are going to affect those around you, whether you think so or not, whether you know them or not, whether it's direct contact or not. Somebody goes to the bank, robs the bank, kills the bank teller. Okay, they got away with the money. Okay, not only did they take somebody's family member, somebody's mother, somebody's father, whoever, somebody's brother, somebody's sister, somebody's uncle, aunt, whatever. Now, the bank also has one less employee, and everybody that visits that bank and goes through that bank has to wait that much longer now because they have one less employee to handle, the finances and this, that, and the other. And so now there's a lot more people set behind in life, all because some greedy, selfish, you know, sorry ass motherfucker, lazy person wants a quick way out. They got in too deep. They got in too deep in their life for themselves to handle. Now, the only way you know how to fix it is take from somebody else. Take somebody else's life. Well, you know what? I fucked mine off. Let me take theirs. Bam.